What's good? It's your man Ocean, OMN Network. We back at it, live and direct. I want to thank everybody for tuning in, checking in, see what we got going on this evening. Leading up to the 2020 election, that 2020 election, it really kind of divided a lot of black people. I mean, like families and friends and stuff. It was either you was all for Joe Biden or you was all against Joe Biden. It wasn't really no middle ground leading up to that election. And the reason I can say that so earnestly and with my chest, because even I, came into a, a couple points with a couple people in my life where if I didn't realize that love was stronger than hate, that me and some people that I love right now dearly, we wouldn't be on good speaking accord right now. So that 2020 election was very divisive, man. If you fell on the side that I fell on, then you tend to feel like this before the election, that black people should not be blindlessly giving a vote to any or other party. Not blindlessly. It got to be a tangible reason for us to align with whatever particular party that we choose to align with, because it's a proven fact that the black vote is the determining factor, so to speak. In the presidential election, the black vote is the reason that Biden is the president now, because black people have sold everything to the Democratic Party for little or nothing. For little or nothing, black people done dedicated their vote to the Democratic Party. And like I said, it's really never a reason to sell completely out to whatever party it is. Not the Tea Party, Democratic, Republican, whatever. Whoever, it's a quid pro quo thing. You do something for me, I do something for you. Now, with that being said, I found this article that said it's time for black America to break up with the Democratic Party. And it's written by this lady, Pamela Denise Long. And I hope that you could sit here and make it through the article with me. I would like to chop it up and only do a bits and pieces of the article, but it's such a thoroughly and reflective article that it articulates a lot of the thoughts that I have on this situation. So, and it's just good to see that people on the same wavelength that I'm on. And it's a young black lady. I'm not gonna sexualize this black lady, because apparently that's what men do, is sexualize black women. But if I must say, it's a nice picture of the young lady. And if anybody know this lady, Pamela Denise Long, let her know that I appreciate this black first article that she wrote, without sending no flirts at her or none of that shit. Okay, so let's get into this article. Like, subscribe, and share if you hadn't did that already. I very much appreciate that. OMN Network. In all the autopsies of the Democratic recently shellacking at the polls, a crucial storyline has been left out. The large gains the Republicans made with black Americans in Virginia. Republican Glenn Youngkin, Virginia's new governor, received historic levels of black support, turning Trump gains with black Americans from an aberration into a trend. So, like she said, a lot of black people realize when Trump in office, and especially now with Trump out of office and Biden in, that it's not really much difference between the two parties. So, if I got it, I'm thinking that a lot of black people looking at it like, if I got to pick what type of racism I want, I'd rather have the blatant upfront racism than the sneaky racism. So I think that would give the Republican Party and Donald Trump the edge over Joe Biden in situations like this. Plus, we know that Joe Biden got a long history. No matter how crucial Donald Trump's tongue is, and we know that Biden got a long history of writing laws against black people and implementing laws against black people that some of your people might still be locked up from a 94 crime bill. If not recently just got out. So, you know what I mean? That just give me blatant racism, but really neither one. I'm not gonna stand in line for neither one of these fellas and neither one of these parties until they put something tangible on the table for black people. But that's neither here nor there, cause that won't be this upcoming election. So, but anyway, the truth is, I'm gonna try not to elaborate so much. I'm gonna try to get through this story. The truth is, all is not well between black Americans and the Democratic Party, and the November 2021 election night results might very well turn out to be the rumblings of a breakup that is long overdue. In black America, there's a growing contempt for an influential far left that talks a woke game on diversity and appropriates our struggle in their ads and talking points, but offers no communities little beyond the feeling of inclusion. Far left agenda items like abolish ICE, defund police, and other social justice mainstays make use of the provocative wordsmithing to commodify the black American experience of radical exclusion while providing career and other benefits to white liberals. And it's every other ethnic group besides black people do the same shit. Every other group use the oppression of black people to get shit that they want from the government. And that's a damn shame. And black people, we got to just stop going for that shit. And the way that you stop going for the shit is put your vote for sale, my guy. Your vote is for sale, my vote is for sale. I promise you, I'm not voting for none of them until they put something very much tangible that I can feel in between my fingertips on the table. But back to this. The truth is, white liberals have, for the last 30 years, used black American civil rights to advance their own agendas. They've implemented destructive criminal justice laws and incomplete education paradigms. They have conflated discrimination based on sexual. I like that. Yeah, this was something that I wanted to touch on a little bit, but I'm just gonna read it and make sure that I stress it. They have conflated discrimination based on sexual orientation and gender with the horror of anti-black racism. Do you see what she said right there? She said they have conflated discrimination based on. So she said that was beautiful. Her wordsmithing was actually beautiful right there, because she said a lot without even saying exactly. So she's saying that they using the struggle of the black man. The LGBT community is actually very much profiting off the struggle of the black man, and you can see it. It's you can just look up right now. I'm not gonna go all the way into it because it's a story within itself, but just look up LGBTQ reparations, and I guarantee you the story come up where they paying LGBTQ reparations right now. But that's, like I said, that's a whole nother situation. I don't even got time to go down that road right now. They have prioritized immigrants and those they presume are legitimate refugees at our expense, distributing redress and now possibly even reparations to those who knowingly broke U.S. immigration laws. While progressives accuse the right of not talking about anti-black racism, when the left does talk about the anti-black racism, they do not use our pain. They do so to use our pain. Let me go back. When the left does talk about anti-black racism, they do not use our pain. They do so to use our pain, not for our benefit. They treat black Americans like the mascots rather than the partners. You can tell by the mission creep. Notice how the article's speechless and advocacy start by talking about the black woman or black people as the recipients of harm, and then shift to the people of color. Yeah, that's a big one right there. They always change it from black people to people of color, and you gotta, yes, it's a lot within that change, because once you dilute it with that people of color, that means anything that you could have gave us, not everybody eligible for it, including white women. Naming a laundry list of identity groups in their proposed redress. Think of Congresswoman Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez offensive approach and quip. I always say Latinos are black. What the fuck did I just say? As soon as I say that, yeah, that's exactly what I just said. But I'm gonna keep going. I'm trying to get to the end. At best, the marriage between black Americans and Democrats has been an arranged one. Back when Republicans and Democrats switched costumes, Nixon-era Republicans were so uncomfortable with black Americans that the lesser of two evils became the black American way. But that code of conduct has since lost its utility. Consider that it was Republican President Donald Trump whose First Step Act released thousands of black men from prison, men put there by Democrats' crime bill pushed by their very own President Biden. Consider the economy under Trump, the historically low black levels of unemployment, but on behalf of the Democrats who use and ignore us, on behalf of the Democrats who use and ignore us, we are supposed to see in Trump an enemy. That's Joe Biden campaigning on the messages that black American who can't figure out if they want to vote for him, well, they ain't really black. Today it's a commonplace for white liberals to use historical language about white supremacy to gain audience traction, mobilizing far-reaching woke narratives that further erase black Americans and descendants of slaves and deny the chance to advocate for ourselves and receive tangible resources that would improve our lives. The left-leaning paternalism of white liberals is even more sinister because they claim to advocate for the oppressed using the black American experience to credential their platforms while supplying the little of substance to black America. Every social justice effort since the 1960s Negro civil rights movement owes its success to its use of descendants of slaves. That's the fuck. I said it already. The black experience of struggle in this country is the springboard for everybody else's experience to get tangible benefits from the government. Let's see how much more I know it's a little bit more of this article. I'm not gonna make it to the end. I'm not even gonna try to make it to the end, but because I know niggas is probably checking out already. But anyway, it's time, man. It's time that we demand something of them people if they gonna get our vote. I'm definitely not sitting up here saying let's all go stand in line and vote Republican down the fucking down the ballot. Put your ballot box on Republican. No, I'm not saying no shit like that. But what I'm saying is no tangible, no vote. You know, that's the message. I should have never swayed from the message. That's really got to be the message. What in the fuck is you doing standing in their line if they ain't offered you shit to be standing in their line for? So that's what we gonna leave that on. We gonna leave that right there on that note right there. No tangible, no vote. The black people should definitely divorce the Democratic Party, not hitch the fuck up with no other party, and live this shit. If it was a good time to be a prostitute, it is when you dangling your vote on the left and the right, black people. So let's see, can we get that together? Everybody stay positive, stay strong. You know, I love you. If you fuck with me, I fuck with you. It's your boy Ocean, OMN Network. We out.